With Malcolm McDowell, here is Vincent on the toll-free in Oneonta, New York. Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm fine, Vincent. Thanks for calling. What's on your mind tonight, sir?
Well, I just want to speak with Mr. McDowell. First of all, it's an honor to speak with you.
Hi, Vincent. How are you?
Good. I want to know how the English government reacted to you as an individual after your controversial role in A Clockwork Orange.
The British government, well, the British government, we are actually a democracy over in England. I know that's hard to believe, but they didn't really react one way or the other. I wasn't, of course, presented with a knighthood, which I was expecting, but I think they thought that I was a bit of a rebel, and probably still do. I think they'd like to steer well clear, you know. I'm delighted, actually, that Tony Blair got in the election and did so well, so I was thrilled about that, and I think that after 18 years of conservative government, you know, it's fantastic that the new broom has come in and
the pendulum has swung the other way. Right,
that's great.
Right.
Exactly.
Now, he mentions, you know, reaction of the government. Like Gielgud, I believe, is Sir John. He's been knighted, right?
Yes.
And Laurence Olivier is Sir Laurence Olivier, right?
Lord,
excuse me.
the only actor ever to be given a peerage.
Is that right?
Yes.
Now, what's it like when you work with like with Olivier? Do you call him Lord or Sir?
No, you call him Larry.
Really?
Well, I mean, excuse me, sir. I remember asking an actor once, I said, what have you been doing? He said, I've been a chitch with Sir, which meant I've done the summer season at Chichester with Sir Laurence Olivier.
Gotcha. I've done the
I've been a chitch with Sir. I'm cracking him one.
Vincent, I'm glad you called, and thank you for watching tonight.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
With you both.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
So you and Larry once did a Pinter play where he was to portray a homosexual in the play.
Yes, but the whole point of the play, and I was his lover, but the whole point was that we were so in the closet that nobody knew until the very end of the play that we were homosexual, you see. And in fact, I was accused. There's four people in the play: Alan Bates, Helen Mirren, myself, and Lord Olivier. And
that's quite a cast, by the way. Alan Bates is a fine actor.
Isn't he wonderful? Yeah. I love Alan Bates. And Helen Mirren, too. Wonderful actress. And anyway, he accuses me of having an affair with his wife, which is Helen Mirren, you see. And, of course, I play this character which goes either way. Anything, you know, a bit of a Mr. Sloane, you know, type of character. Anyway, we came to the read-through, and the whole idea was, of course, very straight, you know. And we had, of course, the writer, Harold Pinter himself, very eminent writer, one of the most famous writers in England.
No question.
60 executives from the Granada television people and all the producers, and Laurence Olivier was also producing it, you see. And so we sat down and we started to read. Alan and I, very straight. Laurence Olivier comes in, swinging a handbag in high heels, you know. Hello, sweetie. Well, we're looking at our scripts. I look over at Alan, who goes, ooh, I see. Well, Harold Pinter was sitting over there, who was going puce, you know. He was like, but of course he couldn't say anything because Lord Olivier,
right.
Exactly.
Now, let me, before you go ahead, you mentioned Granada Television. Was Lou Grade part of this at all?
No, Lou Grade wasn't. It was Granada's something else.
Oh, okay.
He was ATV.
Oh, I'm sorry, because he's also a Lord, as I recall. Lord
Grade now, or Sir Low Grade, as they used to say. But actually, he's a charming fellow. He's adorable. He's still around. He's about 87 or something.
I know. I met him a long time ago in London with a friend of his named David Tebbutt, who worked over at NBC. And we went one time. There used to be a couple that acted in the West End of London. I want to say the Aldersons, but I'm not sure if
John Alderson and Pauline Collins, who did
They did a show called Confusions. It was a series of little one-acts about that wonderful British sex double entendre, you know?
Yes.
So it was a Lord Grade production, and we were told that we would go to meet Lord Grade at interval of the theater. Well, we went at interval, and Lord Grade had dinner for 12 set up in his office for an hour and 45 minutes, and the audience sat there waiting for us to have dinner, and then we went back and they started the play. I said, man, that is octane.
That's power.
That is raw, naked power. But so in any event, you're now, the Lord is waving the handbag.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, we just thought, well, there's no play. There is no play. If Laurence Olivier is going to play it that way, we may as well go home. Anyway, so the poor director, who was actually a wonderful director called Michael Apted, who went on to do Coal Miner's Daughter and be a big hit in Hollywood. So he was very young, and I think he came out in a lot of red spots on his neck and his face, you know. he had a bit of a rash. I think it was a nervous rash, because every day we'd come in and say, "Have you told Sir yet?" Well, I'm going to tell him, but not...
to bring it down, right?
Yes. To say that this is the point of the play is that that's very secret and that doesn't come out to the very end. Right. So, anyway, after the 5th day, of course, Alan and I were listening at the door because this was the moment he was to tell him. We couldn't hear what Apted had said, Michael Apted had said, but we heard Laurence Olivier say, "But my dear boy, I always start big and bring it in." Woo, thank God for that. Well, of course, that was his method. You know, there's a great story about him, you know, when he did Richard III, which is one of the greatest performances by an actor ever. And, of course, he went on to make the film of it. But the very first performance of that John Mills apparently went round to see him to make arrangements about a party that they were to have after the first night. And he went in, and Larry was like this at his dressing room mirror. And he said, "Larry, what's the matter? We've got 50 people coming, and everybody's bringing champagne, and it'll
be wonderful." Yeah,
exactly. And he said, "Darling, don't cancel it. This is a disaster. I don't know what I'm going to do. I've no idea how to play this part. You mustn't. Don't have any of my friends there. Please, please, Johnny, if you love me, don't
do this." Right.
And he said, "But it's too late now, Larry. I can't do anything. I can't get hold of people now. They're all coming. You're on in an hour. What do you mean you don't know how to play it?" He said, "I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue." That audience, the 750 people, witnessed one of the greatest things in a theatre.
Yeah.
He made it up. It was actually Shakespeare that was made up on the absolute moment. It was spontaneous Shakespeare.
And probably electrifying to watch.
Brilliant, beyond belief. He was walking the plank. It was one of the things that never happened in a lifetime for an actor. It was sort of unheard of, the freedom. He just went, he said, "Hell with it, I'm going to be so bad, I'm just going to go." And he created one of the greatest performances ever on a stage.
And how was the party afterwards?
Terrible.
Let me pause for the sponsors. We're with Malcolm McDowell. We'll be right back after this break. When you were a young man starting out as an actor, you probably didn't work in London. You'd work out of town?
Yes, I worked at the end of a pier in Shanklin, the Isle of Wight. And I remember going to see this lady who read hands and palms and, you know, and looked in the crystal ball.
A fortune teller.
A fortune teller, and she indeed said that she said that I was actually going to cross water. And I said, "But aren't we on a pier? And if you listen, I think you'll hear the waves lapping at our feet."
When I leave here, I'm going to be crossing the water, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It just amused me. Yeah.
But, like, would you work in the provinces out of London? Were there small theater groups as there are in the
yes,
United
we did
States?
weekly rep, which was, so you had 4 plays in your head at any one time. The one you were doing, the one you were rehearsing, the one that you're just trying to catch up for the next week, and then the one you're trying to forget, you know. So you'd play from 12 years old to 65 or whatever it was, you know. It was a wonderful grounding and a marvelous place to learn.
And were there people who went on to fame and fortune, such as yourself, who would be in these productions?
Oh, every but one.
Really?
I mean, Alan Bates, Albert Finney, every single actor of that generation went through weekly rep. And then we, of course, went to one of either the National Theatre or the Royal Shakespeare Company, which, of course, is really like going into a government job. You know?
Yeah.
Here's your number.
And your debut in the West End was with the Royal Shakespeare Company.
Yes, it was.
Henry V.
Henry V.
And I hear it went swimmingly well.
Oh, it was a brilliant success. Yeah. I was walking on, you know, holding the spear like this. And I remember I was in the bar in the Opera Tavern opposite the theatre at the half, and the ASM came in, this assistant stage manager, to say, "My God, the English Herald is off, and his understudy's sick. Does anybody know?" And I went, "Does anybody? You mean, my sovereign lord, bestow yourself with speed. The French are bravely in their battle set, and will with all expedients charge on us?" She went, "Brilliant! You're doing it this afternoon."
Yeah, this is in the bar now, you do it, yeah.
I said,
"Does anybody?
Are you kidding? Let's have a drink. Let's have another." So we go to the theatre, and the scene before it was a night scene. I'm lying down, going, "My sovereign lord, say so. Okay, great." Okay, come off, quick, change, put the thing on, the helmet, the standard. And suddenly I heard these trumpets. I'd never heard these trumpets before. And I saw the green light, and I went, that's not... Somebody pushed me. I ran on. My sovereign lord, bestow yourself with speed, the French. Come on, they're waiting. Well, the whole of the Agincourt army turned around, including, of course, Ian Home, who was Henry V, who was brilliant. And they were heaving so hard, laughing. The shoulders were... And I felt this big.
It's a wonder that it all turned out okay.
I'm shocked and surprised.
I remember one night seeing Richard Harris with Johnny towards the end of Johnny's run at NBC, where Carson asked him if he'd ever, made a gaffe on stage or gone up. And he said he was in Camelot in New York.
Yeah, yeah.
And the line is, Guinevere, how would my life have been different had I not been born a king? Yeah. And he looked at her and he said, Guinevere, how would my life have been different had I not been born a queen? Well, the place went up. I value my time with you so much, and I hope you'll come back and talk about Stanley Kubrick, who I'm sure has some idiosyncrasies that ought to be discussed.
One or two.
Okay. Thank you, dear Malcolm.
Pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Malcolm McDowell, next Laurie Levinson, and what's going on with O.J.'s house after this short break.